to Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoimbo. On this episode of Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoimbo, we will be delving into the nitty-gritty of introduction to photography and photojournalism. We are going to be dividing, understanding what photography is all about, what photojournalism is all about. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Photographs these days are as important as news story. Readers take delight in reading pictures to confirm and to better understand a message. Therefore, the role of a personnel behind journalistic photography that are published in newspapers and magazines will be discussed in this episode. Photograph is the result of combining several technical discoveries. It is a method of recording image by the action of light or related radiation on a sensitive material. The word used derived from the Greek word photos, means light, and graphing, to draw, right? So the point we are trying to make here is that before you understand what photojournalism is very important for you to understand what photograph is. And photograph plays a very prominent role when it comes to photojournalism. They say, tell me I may forget. Show me I may forget, but when you involve me, I will never forget. It's very important for us to, we've built a kind of mental picture that we must see, to build a, like what we call a mental picture that you'll be able to capture the moment as it happens. You were in there, but when the moment is being captured in the newspaper, you can't paint a mental picture to say how that thing went, right? And that's why we said that photograph is the result of combining several discoveries. They said innovate or die. Human being by nature, everything you see around you today, they are product of human thought. Everything, the camera we are using, the everything, the chair I'm using, the table I'm using, the cars, the aeroplane, everything are product of human thought. And that's why they say good thinking, good product. So photography is also one of the key thought or discovery of man, right? And they discover what photograph is all about, and it's what really necessitates photography is just the curiosity of man to capture moments that the moments that they don't just want to forget like that. And that's why they set up what created photography. And how does it happen? It's a method of recording images by action of light. That's why you see the flash will just come, capture, and go back into the box. Or related radiation on a sensitive material. The sensitive material in this context is talking about the film. All right, the film, I told you growing up, there's a way that it's a kind of deep brown, and they put it inside like this Ludo bottle that they remove it and they put it into a camera. This is a digital camera, all right, but in the olden days, there's a particular place that they will insert the film there, and from there they cover it and they started taking pictures. And when it's about 36 there, when they exhaust it, that's all. They take it to the dark room and process it, and that's what happened there. So let's divide, or let's explain further the word photo and graphing. The word is derived from a Greek word. That's why we talk about the etymology. When you say something etymology, simply means the origin. What is the etymology of photography? That means what is the origin. So the Greek words photo means light. Photo means what? Light. And graphing means drawing. That means you are using light to draw. Using light to draw, that is putting it together, is called photograph. Light and drawing. In 1832, a little-known French-Brazilian investor, Hercules Florence, studied ways of permanently fixing pinhole images, which he named photograph. He never published results of his invention adequately because he was an obscure inventor living in a remote and undeveloped province. All right. So when you trace the history of photography, you can't forget talking about in 1832 by a French Brazilian inventor, Florence, that studied ways of permanently fixing pinhole, but he didn't really record it, so they didn't really give him the accolades. But history still have it there that he was the one that started the process of photograph, and he named it. So Udeze in 1995 re-echoed the popular saying in photojournalism that says that picture is worth than 1,000 words. Picture is worth 1,000 words. Meaning that when you see a picture, you can interpret it in millions of ways. Millions of ways. So there are various definitions of photograph, but for the purpose of this study, we shall limit ourselves to only 2 definitions of photograph. So according to Spencer in 1973, photograph is the art, science, and practice of creating durable image, right, by recording light or other electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic word there is a very powerful word, meaning your microwave, how it works is it's electromagnetic wave. Our telephone, it uses electromagnetic wave because there is no wire connected to it, but I can speak with somebody in the United States, in Canada, in the UK. All right, so we use this electromagnetic wave, and either chemically by means of light sensitive materials. I've explained light sensitive material. Furthermore, according to Collins English Dictionary, photography is defined as art, practice or occupation of taking a printing photograph, making scene, film. Photograph comes in different forms and types such as astrophotograph, cinematography, gastrography, photobiography, to mention just a few. Also, it is a universal means of communication. A good photograph needs no translator as it fixes the mind more readily than words. So what we are saying here is that pictures speaks volume. When you see a picture, you can say, oh, this one is looking pretty, right? But the irony of it is that the world is fast changing, that you can't really predict. If you see certain people these days and say they are beautiful, and you now see them and say, what I order versus what I got, all right? Because of different editing app and all. But the fact still remains that picture helps you build a mental image of certain things, and where you've not been, when you can, some of you have this imagination of America, or you like African countries that you've seen on TV. You can be talking about it and say, oh, when you get to certain zoo, it's because of you are able to picture it in your mind. And don't forget what I always say, that you can only feature in a future you have pictured. So you can never feature in a future you never picture. That means you must be able to picture, see, draw a mental picture of whatever thing that you are desirous of. So it has a great advantage over the written words. Yes, because pictures are always there. You can be able to describe it further, right? So it has many uses such as business, science, manufacturing, art, recreational purposes, and mass communication. Though for some people, photograph is a popular hobby that offers job opportunity to many people in photographic manufacturing, retailing, servicing, and photo finishing. Right? Let's talk about types of photography. Types of photography. The first one is the aware photograph. The aware photograph. Aware photograph is an arranged photograph. The person being photographed knows that he or she picture is being taken as he or she probably planned for it. So when you take all these pictures that you put your hands like this, you are intentional, you are prepared for it. That is, and it's the aware photograph. Now you are aware that they want to take your picture, and you can give them several poses for you to take a nice picture. That is the aware photograph, and it could be taken anywhere, either indoor or outdoor. We have semi-aware photograph. As the name also implies, the person being pictured is not completely aware. The person is not completely aware. In view of the presence of the cameraman, the person has to continually compose his or her posture until the cameraman is ready to click the button to snap the picture. It could also be arranged or planned for, but the most important factor is that the person does not know the actual time the camera will click. So I can just bring my camera like this, and I just say, okay, how are you? And immediately, women now, immediately you see camera, you start, okay, give me like this, do this one for me, You do that very well. So, but unaware is just like I'm just playing with my camera, and you don't know when I'll just give the shutter, you know. So you will know that's it's semi-aware, but you know that there's a photographer in front of you, but you don't know when it's going to click that shutter to click. So let's talk about the candid photograph. This type of photograph is factual and unarranged, as it tells the story as it is. It tells the story as it is, not as it ought to be. It therefore calls for speed, instinct, anticipation, ingenuity, and presence, bearing in mind that the photojournalist has to tell the story in the picture the way he saw it at the scene, and must be at the right place, the right time, and most importantly, in the right frame of mind. So we have three: the aware, semi-aware, and candid photograph. Why I would not be going into nitty gritty or delving into it is because it's something just for you to have idea, so you'll be able to differentiate and understand better. Let's talk about the brief history of photograph. I don't think you'll be needing the brief history of photograph, but you can just know it for your information, right? So let me also let's talk about photograph. We discuss is a photograph a profession or craft? Is it a profession or craft? So photography by implication is an art. To some it is a profession that will serve as a source of income and livelihood. Right? A source of income or livelihood for different reasons. We all love to remember memorable events which can only be recalled, yes, through pictures on particular occasion, like naming ceremony. Some of you, if you see your naming ceremony pictures, you like. So let's talk about photography as a profession. So photograph is an artistic skill adopted by some as hobby, while as a professional job by others, right? To some people, it could be a specialized skill. The same time could be a source of income. It's clear some people do it, but I wouldn't even want to answer that question directly to say that is photograph, is it a profession? But to us, it's a profession because it's something that is bringing food, putting food on some people's table. So it is a profession that people learn for years for them to be able to successfully take a picture that makes a whole lot of sense. So why photography? Our photographs tell us what is important to us. The impulse to save our recorded memories is a powerful force which tells us much about the role of photograph in our lives and our constant desire to keep our most precious, right? So photograph as a part of our legacy. I think those ones, let's keep those ones, and let's see some key areas that I would really, really want you to pay premium attention to. So photograph in Nigeria. But why we do that to get, I don't want us to talk about photography in Nigeria. They are not, it's something that you should know, but at this moment, not really, really relevant. So, hold on. Now, I would like us to talk about a professional photographer. You should know the skill. Who a professional photographer means. Somebody who has gone through the four walls of the university or studied mass communication or has learned a particular skill. And photography and law, you must learn and understand photography and law, because you can't just take people's photograph without their consent. I told you about the picture of minor. There are civil wrongs. Copyright, you don't steal other people's pictures, post it on blogs and claim without giving credit. So you should pay attention to all those things when it comes to photography and law. So in mass communication, photography is very, very important picture and the media. Without photograph in media, there is I don't know how the newspaper or magazine will look like. So let's quickly delve into areas. Let's talk about how those questions might look like. How those questions might look like as you prepare. Now, very important. Listen to this kind of question. When you encounter this kind of question that says that, what is the etymological meaning of photograph? What is the etymological? When you hear etymological, we are talking about the origin of words. What is the origin of photography? So the first thing is, like, for example, said, what is the etymological meaning of photograph? First, capturing images using light sensitive material, recording images using digital sensors, painting images with light, creating images through chemical process, capturing images using light sensitive material. That is the answer, right? Capturing images using light sensitive material, because photo means what? Light. Graphy is talking about drawing. So with a particular material, you can't draw just on the air. There must be something that you must learn how to. You must draw on something. So which of the following is a characteristics of photograph? You must understand the characteristics of photograph. For example, it is a universal language. It is exclusively used for entertainment purposes. It has no historical significance. Don't forget the elimination method. You must learn how you eliminate. It's not all questions you see in objective that you must know that this is out of it. Use the elimination method. And look at this now. They said, which of the following is a characteristics? All right, characteristics of photograph. Don't mix photojournalism and photograph together. So here, it is a universal language. Photograph, universal language. Is it? It is exclusively used for entertainment purpose. Exclusively, I mean they don't use photograph for any other thing. That's wrong. It has no historical significance. That's wrong. The answer is it is solely a technical process. It is a universal language. All right. So here, when they say photograph, one of the characteristics of photograph is that, number one, they said it is solely a technical process. It is a universal language. That's how something can be there. The answer is universal language, because everywhere photograph, anywhere you get to, everybody can interpret. Even if you go to China, if you just show them that, oh, I took this picture, can you see? They start, they start laughing. They can relate with you. Okay, wedding, even if you can't speak their language, they can relate with you. That's why I say, just like laughing or smiling is a universal language. So also photography or photograph is also a universal language. Let's talk about what role does photograph play in historical records. Photography plays a very important, prominent role in historical record. Number one, it has no relevance in documenting history. That's a lie. It is used to create fiction narratives. It serves as a primary source of historical documentation. It only captures image on landscape. The answer is it serves as a primary source of historical documentation. That's one of the historical. It helps to keep record, right? It helps to keep record very, very well. Also, look at what are the types of photograph. And this is very, very dicey. Very, very dicey. These are just kind of how those questions might look like, right? It might look like that and very dicey. So I picked this one so that you'll be able to be patient enough to pick the right answers you get. So what types of photograph fall under the category of snapshot amateur? Snapshot amateur. High-ended professional photograph, casual and informal photograph, aerial and drone photograph, studio photography. All right. So the answer there is casual and informal photograph. Casual and informal photograph. Let me take it. What types of photograph fall under the category of snapshot amateur? Amateur are not professionals, right? High-ended professional photograph. Professional. Can you see that word professional has made It's not with amateur. That is the opposite of amateur. Casual and informal photograph. That is where amateurs are. Casual and informal photograph. That is amateur. They are not professionals. So that's why we say casual and informal photograph. That's why we say the snapshot amateur. That is the example. Further, we say, what role does photograph play in historical record? I think we mentioned that. Which of the following statement about photograph as a career is not true? Which of the following statement about photograph as a career is not true? It is solely a hobby and form of entertainment. It has no potential for professional advancement. It requires no technical skill. It offers opportunity for career development. Which of the following statement about photography is true? Is true. You must always read again. Don't be too excited when you see question. They sound so much sweet. All right? It's true. So the answer is it offers opportunity for career development. Which of the following statement about photograph as a career is true? And that's why we say it offers opportunity for career development. That's why I keep telling you that some of you that have interest, you have penchant for photograph, you can delve into it as a professional too. Excuse me. So what distinguishes a serious amateur photograph? What distinguishes a serious amateur photographer? Number one, they understand the rules of photograph. What differentiates an amateur photographer is that they understood the rules. Let me tell you about this. You see, when you talk about photojournalism, we are saying that how a picture makes a news. All right, that's photojournalism. But my point here is that there's people that you see even at events, marriage, they don't know that it's not everybody. You just have to point your camera and say you want to take their picture. As a journalist, you should know where, when, and how you take your picture and who you want to take their picture. You can't just see somebody on the road and say, I want to take your picture. They can stone you. You know, I have told you, you have to be very careful. So as a professional, you know where and when not to. So you understand the law that guides that profession. So you must read about which term refers to a photographer where the subject is partially conscious of being photographed. That is partially conscious. Look at the option. Number one, candid, aware, semi-aware. Semi-aware is the answer. So that is partially, not totally. Aware is that they are aware. Semi is that they are partially aware that there is a photographer in front of us and they want to do that. So what is a role of photograph in advertising and marketing? To visually promote product and services. So when it comes to marketing and advertising, is to promote, right? Another thing you need to also understand is that how can photograph raise awareness about social issues? By visually depicting and documenting issues. I told you about the story of Sodiq Adelakun that took pictures around Yaba. I think it's Yaba Primary School or that year. He took the picture, posted it on Punch newspaper, published it on Punch newspaper. Weeks later, the local government, they rushed to that school to go and repair it. So that is how you can use your lens to bring about change, right? So another thing is, which of the following is characteristics of a post photograph? A post, like to post photograph. Capture spontaneously. Subject are unaware of being photographed. Subject are instructed to take specific pose. Which of the following is characteristics of a post? A post, I mean you want to pose. So the answer is subject are instructed to take specific poses. Like I always say, there are only 3 persons or 2 persons that a lady will always listen to. Number 1, the pastor. Number 2 is photographer. If a photographer tells a woman to start jumping like 100 times, you start jumping to give different pose. So that's why get it. You need to see. It's very easy to pass. Just pay attention. Read again and again. Read and look at the question. Don't just jump. Don't be too excited. Don't be too excited. You see, there are times you don't make decision. When you are over happy and when you are sad, don't make decision. So when you are this course is simple and you are so excited about it and you start choosing nonsense, and afterward you now be complaining that there are village people that causes problem. So further more, what distinguishes a candid photograph? So you need to go and learn and read more about the types of photograph, the candid, semi-aware, aware, very well. Understand their differences. So which of the following is a key function of photograph in a newspaper? Capture moment and event. That is the answer there when it comes to which of the following is a key function of photograph in a newspaper. Number one, capturing moments, capturing emotions and events, filling up empty space, adding fiction element, all of the above. No, not all of the above. Do you understand? So what else do I really want you to know? Which term best describe the use of photograph to tell a news story? Photo essay. Which term best describe the use of photograph to tell a story? Photo essay. So number one, without text. Let me read that again. It's very dicey. Which term best describe the use of photographs to tell a news story without text? Photo essay, photo collage, photo caption, photo grid. It is photo essay. Photo essay. Photo essay. Those are the technical area. So read about the types of photograph very, very well. The candid, semi-aware, unaware. And also pay attention. What part of camera is responsible for storing photos and videos? Memory card. Some of you might not even have the memory to know that it is memory card. I don't know about that. I'm just joking. So how photography in newspaper contribute to creating a visual narrative of current events by presenting a series of image in sequence. By presenting a series of image in sequence. What else would I want you to know? So understand the part of camera too. Yes, learn the part of camera. What part of camera captures incoming light? That's focus switch. Focus switch that wants to capture, right, the incoming light, right? That wants to capture the incoming light. So that's the focus switch. Another one is what part of camera determines how long light is allowed to hit the sensor? That's the shutter speed, right? That's the shutter speed. Yeah, you the ISO here. So it determines how fast you want to let the it's around here. You can't really see it clearly here. So you set it to determine how you want the light, the shutter speed. Which part of the camera protect the sensor from dust and dirt? So the camera body to the sensor. So it's the body here that protects. Another thing is what parts of camera allows you to compose your shots before capturing it? That is the viewfinder here. So you look at it very well. Is the image, is the model standing very well? So it helps you to do what you view it. You look at it from the viewfinder, all right. Or sometimes we have something like this. You can use this as a viewfinder too. This, just look at it. Mostly they use it for video, right? So you do that. What else? Which part of camera emits a burst of light to illuminate a scene? That's the flash. Illuminate is to make something clear, because English is some of you's problem. I always say, what is the crucial newspaper? So learn about the types of the functions of camera, right? Function of camera. There are some questions that you hear ABC. What role do photograph play in enlightening local events and issues in newspaper? They provide a visual context and connecting to the community. All right. They use to promote international news story. That is wrong. It sounds very nice, but that is very wrong. By providing visual clues and content. How do photograph aid in breaking down complex news story by providing visual clues and context. What else will I want you to know? What else will I want you to know? A photographer who takes pictures for news outlets and publication is known as what? A photojournalist. Is a photojournalist. So journalism plays what role in society, captures current event for record and reporting, right? So which technological advancement have revolutionized photography in a newspaper? Transition to digital world. This is the digital. Everything is digital. I can put it down. I can put this one down and run to the back or to the front, I beg your pardon, and time it. I take my pictures and I'm fine, right? So what else will I want you to know? So at this juncture, I think that's enough, and I wish you success in your. Just pay attention, read carefully and understand. Read carefully and understand what role the photograph plays in enlightening local events. That means I've mentioned that types of camera. Another thing, what part of camera controls the amount of light entering the camera? It is the aperture. It is the aperture. It's around here. The aperture, right? It's the aperture that controls the amount of light that will enter the camera. So how do photograph in newspaper contribute to the storytelling process? I've mentioned that. Another thing is, why is it crucial for newspaper to have skilled photographer on their staff to increase printing costs, to capture high quality and impactful image? That is the answer, right? I think at this juncture, I wish you all the best in your forthcoming examination. Just pay attention to what I have said, understand what photography is all about, parts of photography, types of photography, what photography does to the society, what else, storytelling, part of camera. Please study and know their functions, the roles they play, very, very important. And what responsibility do newspapers have to ensure the accuracy of information conveying through a photograph? They must fact check image before publishing. They must always fact check image before publishing. I think this is enough for you to succeed in your forthcoming examination. I wish you all the best. Don't forget to subscribe to Ibrahim, Discuss with Ibrahim Fatoyinbo, and after this there are going to be many wonderful content that will help you thrive and make you succeed in life. Once again, I wish you success in your examination. All the best, and see you. Bye.